Like, he's sitting in winners finals right now, guaranteed top 3 against Sandstorm. He tweeted yesterday to bring on the Scythe players. I know he personally doesn't like Scythe, but I think he feels good against Scythe players. But I mean, he's never dealt with kind of the best Scythe player of them all.
Sandstorm,
like, this is the Scythe player to end all Scythe players.
Has not played against him in a PR tournament, but at the same time, he's still playing this Ragnar pick. He's got that Axe to go up against the Scythe. And historically, Axe has not done well against Scythe. If you ever ask how to play against Scythe, people will say, don't play Axe into Scythe.
How do you play Axe against Scythe? You pick another weapon or you pick another character. Wilson's kind of one of the last great Axe players, definitely in North America. There's like one or two.
It's like him and Isidru, and Isidru's like jumping ship.
It's him, Isidru, and now Cody Travis.
Yeah, now Cody Travis.
Are the last 3 people really holding on to that Axe, and Wilson's Axe is solid. His Katars are looking so good, too. It seems like anytime Wrenched wants to say that Katars are not great, or anytime anyone else wants to say Katars are not great, like Wilson is producing so many results with both weapons. He takes the first stock here, but also we saw earlier from Sandstorm, his gauntlets are looking probably sicker today than they even did at BCX, I think.
Yeah, he's like honestly playing at the top of his game right now, able to pick up what is basically the Sandstorm combo at this point. That neutral light and the chase dodge forward neutral signature, he does that so consistently, completely punishes those backward dodges.
Wilson just not even worried about that weapon spawn on stage. He's going to throw out a little bit of unarmed damage first. It's going to give him the lead. Nice neutral signature.
Platform.
And I was thinking about this when we were sitting watching Wilson earlier, is Wilson doesn't really make big mistakes. Like, every player is flawed. Nobody is perfect. Even the best ones make mistakes. But Wilson minimizes his risks so much. OSHA would love Wilson because he minimizes risk. He makes safe options. As I say that, he's getting carried off stage by Sandstorm, who's going to follow that up. He's going to hover right on the side, waiting to hit that ground pound, and he's not even in kill percent right now.
Yeah, that was just Sandstorm with his gauntlet play, so secure with it, so precise, able to shove Wilson off stage after he'd burned quite a few of his aerial movement options. Nice call out from Wilson to get the double down light, couldn't quite get that recovery follow-up, but he's getting decent damage onto Sandstorm's second stock, could get the stock and even out very shortly.
There's the D-Light turning it around.
Just
back and forth. Back and forth. You're left, you're right. Now you're almost dead on his final stock. Sandstorm still just now getting into kill percent. There's the neutral light. No signature follow-up yet. It's a delayed recovery follow-up. Seeing where Sandstorm wants to land, whether it's on the left or the right. It's
neutral light into recovery, very much not true.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. It used to be true back in the day, but it has not been for quite some time now. Falling there. A little bit of a neutral light, continuing the unarmed damage.
Just this wall of neutrals, the neutral lights and the neutral layers. Now he's over to the Katars. Still needs more damage on top of Sandstorm, whereas Sandstorm could start looking for that kill option soon. Double sideline into the recovery.
Yep. Once he got that dodge and was able to pick up the second one, he had the right mix-up option that time coming out of that first sidelight. Now, there aren't as many Gauntlet players now as there used to be, but you'll see, like, towards the end of a stock, Gauntlet players will go sidelight, GC, sidelight in the same direction that they were going. If that doesn't work, they'll do sidelight, GC, sidelight in the other direction. And it's just all of those mix-up options that they're going to kind of run through once they're trying to find that kill, if they're not going to rely on an offstage, if they're not going to rely on signatures even.
And you talked a little bit about how Wilson was minimizing his risky situations, but the fact of the matter is Sandstorm, when he gets that opening, he gets so much mileage out of it. He is doing such a great job of reading Wilson's dodges and just maximizing how much he can get out of that tiny moment.
And that's what I was wondering about once Wilson moved on past his opponent and it was looking like Sandstorm was going to do the work on Noel. My first question was, like, I asked Creed, how does he dodge?
You got to be ready for that.
Are Wilson's dodges that good,
he
or
to do that.
Is he going to get caught out?
You can go back and watch the VOD. Sandstorm will consistently do
a standard.
The side signature at the top of the map like that, and if you jump, you get caught. And that's what happened there. Wilson just hadn't watched the VODs, but he did watch that side sig, able to even up the stocks. Didn't actually take him any damage on this one, so he's going to be completely even.
Now, Ragnar is not a character necessarily like Fate or like Mordex, where a lot of players are saying the SIGs are like basically light attacks, like they're basically unpunishable. But somehow Wilson is able to throw out signatures so often, and yeah, I mean, he will take punishment. He doesn't always do it absolutely perfect where he won't get punished, but he'll take like one hit, which against like a Scythe player, like he just threw out a down sig and took, I don't remember if it was a neutral light or a neutral air, but it didn't convert into anything off of that. Sandstorm is finding conversions now. Wilson going to touch the wall to reset his jumps. He had to get back to the wall. He couldn't make it back straight to the platform. But again, we're seeing that minimization of risk. No huge edge guard engagements. No initiations really off stage coming from Wilson. And I think that he mostly knows that as of now, the way it's going so far, he's probably going to lose that battle.
Yeah, he knows that he can't fight off stage against Sandstorm. Sandstorm has some insane off stage plays, but that's Wilson in a nutshell. Is he doesn't go off stage that much anyways. Sandstorm forcing him off stage every single time though.
Just with a little bit of a lead at this point. Sandstorm is up one game, but of course this is top 8. Now we're at top 3 at this point. So all of this is going to be best of 5. So losing one game, heck, even losing 2 games is not the worst thing in the world. We've seen players come back from a 1-2 game deficit.
It is definitely possible. Wilson just trying to figure out a way to get the stock off of Sandstorm though. Sandstorm again had the off stage, but ended up trying to reset as Wilson was above him and was not in position for that neutral air, that kind of clap down from the gauntlet kit.
Nice punish.
That's a punish, yeah.
So good from Wilson. His punish game with signatures is really strong. He converts so many solid signature punishes into a kill.
And that's part of that very sparing use of his signatures that you were talking about earlier, is that when he uses it in very precise situations.
He's going to have to be careful with his Qatar Dare initiations, though, because it seems like Sandstorm is backstepping so many of those. And when you Qatar Dare into the ground, you're going to be stuck in a lot of recovery frames there.
Just like that, you see Sandstorm able to get that punish, that down light into a down air. Couldn't get too much more after it. Was looking for that signature, but Wilson was able to avoid that. Dodged out of the way. The neutral. Wow.
That was lightning.
Yeah.
Did he dash that in?
Yeah, I think they both dashed in on at that moment, and because one of them went for the neutral heavy, the other one did not do anything.
And that's Sandstorm's scythe control combo. With that active input. We talked about how Wilson necessarily doesn't have the strongest offstage game, so he kind of strays away from that. But the control that a scythe player has over where they want to send their opponent, whether that's left and right, back and forth across the stage, which we saw from Sandstorm, whether that's high offstage, low offstage, onto the edge, Wilson is switching
it up
to Fate.
Oh my goodness, Wilson with the swap. He is going to be busting out the Fate pick. We'll have that scythe to mirror Sandstorm's, but he's going against the world champion, the Mordex main, in a scythe mirror match. This is a bold decision from Wilson, but Wilson's a very bold player.
I'm really curious as to why it's specifically Fate, because if he's trying to go for the disrespectful or the BM, specifically scythe pick, I would think he would lean into it and go exactly to Mordex. But maybe he just feels more comfortable on the Fate pick. Maybe he feels he has a little bit more of a mastery over the signature kit. Maybe he feels better about his orb versus his gauntlets, and he's going to fall there reasonably early. Sandstorm about halfway through his stock. You're seeing a little bit of a breakdance coming out from Sandstorm, a little bit of a celebration as he starts off this this scythe mirror here.
Well, and already starting on that second stock. Gets the dunk, couldn't quite continue the chase though. Still keeping this damage and pressure on top of Wilson. Wilson, what can he do with his orb?
Yeah, what can he do with this orb? I have truly no idea.
Gotten a side air. Okay.
All right. He can use the signature kit pretty well. He already saw.
What he's looking for is a stronger signature kit.
He already saw Dobrain use quite a few of those signatures today. Very signature heavy play style coming out from Dobrain's Fate. So maybe he was able to pick up a couple things or two from Dobrain. And you're seeing that typically slow Wilson style. Pacing back and forth on the stage, jumping 1, 2, sometimes 3 times before he initiates.
Just chipping away at his opponent.
He's not putting out like heavy moments of pressure, but he's putting out a medium to light amounts of pressure kind of all the time.
Yeah, it's the constant medium pressure.
He's not a pressure cooker that will cook a steak in 2.5 minutes. He's an oven that cooks a lasagna in 3 hours. Both dishes, of course, being very delicious coming out of the kitchen of Wilson.
Meanwhile, Sandstorm able to get that stock off of Wilson, and Wilson with this Fate pick. I'm still very curious what prompted this pick.
Yeah, we might see a switch back after this. Not really do we often see major character swaps to a character that we're not familiar with. In
With
top
no
three,
weapon
with no weapon carryover.
Yeah.
He's using those
Okay,
signatures,
okay.
man. Though. He's going almost even with
He's
Sandstorm
he's
so
just
far.
joining the ribbon gang, just throwing out those down signatures. That's what it's about. Those orb signature kit, maybe that's what Wilson was really looking for, but he's got to be careful about this scythe play. Just the strings coming out from Sandstorm.
He uses a lot of signatures to kill with when he's playing Ragnar, though, even to do damage with as well. So he's used to working high startup, high recovery frame, high force moves into his regular play. It's not quite like Cody Travis's Barraza, where, I mean, he'll try a signature every now and then, but it's not really a core part of his gameplay.
He had a couple of moments, a couple of decent strings.
Oh, that's a dunk right over the edge.
Avoids the weapon
Sandstorm
toss, but not
positioned that so well. He was just far enough from the edge, but just close enough to the edge that it sent Wilson right over that corner, didn't bounce, didn't take any momentum away. Perfect placement coming out of Sandstorm. And we will likely see a character swap, maybe back to the Ragnar.
I'm pretty sure that was game 3.